My name is Gracie Mason, and I am a student in high school. I sit in my classroom and I often wonder, when will I ever use these ideas or these teachings in real world life? Like calculus, for example. I don't barely even understand that, and I don't think I will ever have to use that in the real world. Imagine all 12 years of memorizing all of these things to take tests and practicing formulas just to not use them in the real world. In the real world, they're using things like doing things like taxes and household management and all of those things. For countless young adults, the real test is adulthood, and they're not prepared for it. In adulthood, they have to know things like using a debit card and budgeting money and knowing how to keep their space in their house clean. But they don't know how to do that because they weren't taught it in schools. So after some research, I've determined that schools should teach real world skills in the classroom so that it may shape independence, build real world readiness, and give students a lifetime of success. Today, I will discuss how the real world skills affect life, how teaching these skills builds independence, and how learning them early on creates a lifetime of success. The real question is, why does this matter in the real world? Skills like taxes, household management, cooking, cleaning, and financial literacy are essential for adulthood. Many people struggle with these things because they were never taught them. These skills would help students understand what adulthood requires. The Motley Pool Money did a poll, and only 48 of Americans answered the financial questions correctly. Teaching these skills would help them to learn those things. Only 24 to 26% of high school students have a class that they have access to that teaches them financial literacy, but it doesn't stop there with just financial literacy. However, if they were to learn things like financial literacy, how to cook, how to clean, all those household management things, along with social communication and skills like that, it would create lifelong success. Cooking leads to better, healthy life. Communication and social life and social skills are necessary for jobs, careers, and relationships. Financial literacy can lead to stability or even generational wealth. Since we can clearly see how this helps students in the long term, next is figuring out what we can do about it and how we can integrate these skills into the classroom. On average, the average 18 to 24-year-old has over $2,000 in credit debt, mostly because they don't understand interest rates. And then they spend a lot of money on fast food. This can be a problem because they can become fast food dependent, and then they do not know how to cook, so they get unhealthy, and then it causes fast food dependency. Young adults who cook 5 times a week are able to save $1,600 plus a year. So it helps them to build independence. Learning these skills would help them to build independence. Like the young adults who are able to save that $1,600 a year, they're no longer dependent on fast food, and that creates an independence so that they're able to cook and clean on their own, and they're able to survive in their household without having to rely on the things of the world, because they learned how to cook and how to do those things in the household. Some might say that schools teach enough, or that these skills should not be taught, but that viewpoint overlooks something important. Again, these skills create lifelong success. These skills help to make people be more healthy. These skills help to make people have better relationships because they've learned social skills, and these help people to have better financial literacy, know how to pay taxes, pay bills, all of those things. These skills are just as essential as math and reading and science and all of those other skills. And these skills won't replace the skills that are already in the classroom, and they won't add extra extra work on the teachers, but they can integrate it into classrooms that are already made and curriculums that are already made, but just add a few tiny things into them that will help students to learn these real life skills and build that independence. But I say all of that to say that schools should integrate real world skills into the classroom so that students can build independence, real world readiness, and a lifetime of success. After all, school shouldn't just teach us why x equals mx plus b, but they should teach us how to survive in the real world. Thank you.